Hello, chronically offbeat baddies. Welcome back to another episode, spooky edition. Today it's gonna. Oh, there goes my iPad and phone. I swear I'm getting ready. I'm almost there. Oh no, my bike. Okay. Hi. Welcome back to another episode, spooky edition, and today I have my sister here with me.
Hello.
And we're going to be discussing a lot of things. Happy Halloween, by the way, because by the time you see this, it's going to be almost Halloween. If you couldn't tell, this is a Halloween special episode, so we have to dress up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, I know you're thinking, but Mari, you're just in casual clothing. I don't understand. I'm not, though, because I'm not. Because when you think about it, right? I'm actually YB from Coraline.
Oh. All the people in the background are shocked.
And cue the sound effects.
Yep.
And if you couldn't tell, she's the evil dog from the other world in Coraline as well.
Part of the Snoucher pack.
The bad dog. So we're Coraline characters, actually.
Actually, yeah.
Not in casual clothing.
Nope. I mean, well...
Listen.
I was going to say who wears like a dog face type makeup, but you know what? Good for y'all. Not me, but good for y'all.
So yeah, basically we're going to do a deep dive into Coraline and the movie and all of its mechanics. But before we get to that, I wanted to start off talking about your tattoo apprenticeship.
Oh.
And if you could give the viewers / listeners just tell them of like your origin story in terms of tattoo apprenticeship, like why did you want to start, what made you start, that kind of thing. How did you do it?
Yeah. So just as a quick intro, my name's Aida. I'm currently a tattoo apprentice for Time Out Tattoos, which so definitely follow us there. Or if you're going to post this before November 1st, we actually do have a Halloween flash sale happening on November 1st, which is a Saturday. We're going to have vendors there, like food vendors, as well as obviously us tattooing. So yeah, check us out. Check out our different flash sheets. All of our artists there are very like versatile artists. Obviously, we have our own specialties and things like that, but always there. There's always going to be something there for you to find. For me personally, how my tattoo journey started, so I have been working in customer service basically my entire career. I worked in a bank. I worked in like offices and stuff like that. And you're going to think like, okay, like how did you get into tattooing? So I've always been like an artistic person. I've always drawn. I've always like painted. I've always done like artsy fartsy things.
She painted me a llama one time.
Damn right.
When I was in my llama phase.
With sparkles on it.
Yes.
And I always had like a love for art, but I could never figure out how can I translate that into an actual like physical career. It just never made sense to me. Something about it just never clicked. And pretty much what ended up happening is that I was working as an administrative assistant for a hospital, and I was looking for another job, just like another part-time job. And I stumbled upon like another tattoo shop, not my current one, but a different one, looking for like a shop manager. So I was like, that's interesting. Like I never thought about tattooing being like a career at all. So I was like, okay, I could just be a shop manager and just kind of figure out, you know, the mechanics of how a shop works, see how, you know, the ins and outs, like see if it's something that makes sense for me. If I see people, just like if you do an internship or something like that, you're trying to see if the career path makes sense for you. So being a shop manager, obviously I'm part of the mechanics of everything. So I get to see like the behind the scenes as well as the front end. So like seeing what the customers experience as well as what the artist will experience / what the shop will see. And with that, I got to meet like a lot of cool people, a lot of cool artists. A lot of the artists from that specific shop, we transferred over to our current shop now. So a lot of them are like a lot of my good friends, and to be honest with you, it just made sense. I got to see like really good work ethic from them, and saw like, okay, so if I really like drill down, did all these specific things, figured out like what kind of artist path I want to, which I'm still currently figuring out, but like figuring out the artist path you want to do, what is it that you bring? Cause that's another thing as far as like tattoo artistry goes, is like, what is it that you bring to the table? Cause tattoo artists are a dime a dozen. but also it's just what is it that you want to put out there. So that was also part of it, figuring out like, does it make sense for me? Do I like it? Can I see myself like succeeding in this? And really tattoo artistry is really a thing where you get in what you put out. So however many hours that you put into like studying the craft and really talking with your mentors or even investing in your social media platform will tell you whether or not you're going to be successful. As we can see, like it's not like a quick 1, 2, 3. You're just gonna be the best artist out there, and you're gonna get 1 million followers, and you're gonna make buku money. Like no, there's a grinding period for sure for tattoo artists. Some people's journeys are different. Totally fine if you like got into it and you're already there. Totally fine with that too. But majority and like well-known thing about being a tattoo apprentice, you're going to be grinding for a bit. I would also say as a piece of advice for people who do want to get into tattoo artistry and want to become an apprentice, definitely find a shop that like is a safe space for you. Because there's a lot of horror stories out there about people taking advantage of other people, whether it be through money or whatever else. I would say be very careful with who you ask to be your mentor, because obviously not everybody has your best interests besides you. So just be very careful when you look for a shop to like work at and stuff, because that's going to be your workspace. You're going to be dealing with like coworkers every day. So make sure like it's a space that you really want to work in. It makes sense for you.
And I was going to say too, like if you could give people advice that want to start apprenticeship, what would you tell them? Like, how would you tell them to go about looking for
an apprenticeship?
Yeah.
Draw a lot. Or whatever medium you're good at. If you're paint a lot. Have your book of what you can do with pencil, pen, paint, whatever in a book, a portfolio, to then showcase to people, because they can at least see like, oh, okay, like you're actually serious. When you bring your portfolio to places, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for whether or not you're teachable. If you're the kind of person who, gets your tattoo machine off of Amazon and gets fake skin and does it that way, you can make that part of your portfolio just to show that you're trying, you're kind of researching on your own. I feel like the biggest thing for mentors is seeing just overall potential, artistic potential, as well as drive. And if you have like that work ethic and you're willing to like grind it out, 95% of the time they're with it. It's also kind of tricky too, because you don't want to because you gotta have to put yourself out there. You're gonna have to be, okay with getting those no's. I just got lucky that I knew people that were willing to teach me and were cool with teaching me. But you're gonna have to be really cool with like getting those no's too, because I got no's as well. But you're going to have to be comfortable with that and really believing in yourself. If it's something that you really want to do, you're not going to stop trying to get into it.
What does your tattoo apprenticeship day-to-day look like for you?
So for me, day-to-day, so I work 2 jobs. So I work my tattoo apprenticeship, but I also work for Amazon like part-time. So I kind of split up my days that way. Usually my days, like if I don't have an appointment booked, I'm usually drawing, watching other people tattoo, talking with those specific coworkers, asking them questions, taking note of things. But a lot of the time is a lot of downtime. And that's mainly because you're drawing most of the time. You're talking to other people about like designs. You're asking them questions about their tattooing. And sometimes it's not going to front, like you standing there watching people, like it can be a little boring. But at the same time, if you're really engaging and paying attention, they're dropping knowledge on you. They're giving you like free advice without you having to do anything. Or, like if you're working on a design, there's plenty of people there to ask like, hey, like, is this realistic? Like, does this make sense for a design? Like, is this tattooable? Because there's sometimes like I've drawn things where I'm like super excited about it. And it's like, Aida, no, like that's not going to make any sense in skin. Like, and that's another thing you got to learn as well, is like what makes sense for skin and what makes sense for like, okay, you can make a sticker, you can make a printable, those kind of things.
Because like not everything can be a tattoo.
No, and that's like the misconception. Like you have to design it to a way where it's going to make sense for skin and it's going to uphold right and it's going to look the same for the next like 10 years. And if it needs touch-ups, cool, but like that's not what we mean. We mean like, is it going to look good on the actual physical skin? So yeah, just a lot of the time when I'm at the shop, it's just a lot of like downtime. And if I'm not tattooing, then I'm talking with my mentors, asking them questions. I'm posting videos. I'm trying to make content. Because that's another thing I've been getting into too, is making like funny content, like tattoo content, because, you know, now it's like, this is part of my daily where I like see like my coworkers go through a silly, funny thing. And I'm like, oh, that would be really funny. Like, I think people don't really see that perspective of tattoo artists. Like, we struggle with like, sometimes we freak out about the stencil not being right. And then it's there and it's perfect. And we're like, oh, okay. So like silly, funny things like you got to work on too. You got to, like I said, majority of being a tattoo artist is putting yourself out there. Like I said, tattoo artistry is a dime a dozen, but they're coming to see you. Yeah. Like you're also the product itself. So that's the kind of route I'm taking. So a lot of my time is kind of surrounded by like trying to figure out ways that I can either make more art that people will like or make more, you know, content to where people will either give me a follow, suggest me to a friend, look at my other artwork that I have on there. And yeah.
So I know just a little bit ago you just mentioned how there's a lot of like misconception about understanding what's going to look good as a tattoo. But what is something about apprenticeship that people misunderstand?
They think it's a cash grab. They see the money and they think like, oh yeah, tomorrow I'm going to have like so much money from just doing these tattoos, and like I'm just going to get into doing realism, and then I'm just going to like, there's a lot of misconceptions. One is money. Like you think like you're going to get a bunch of money off it. No, you're going to put a lot more money in than you are going to get out of it. Because like at the end of the day, you're not really charging people a lot when you're apprenticing because you're still learning. You're trying to build up your portfolio. You're trying to build up your clientele. So you're really not going to make a lot of money off rip. Like, yeah, the money comes in, but it's not like anything crazy where, like, at least for me, like not anything crazy where I'm going to be rich, a millionaire tomorrow. The second thing is like talent. Like you can be the best kind of like artist in whatever field that you feel in, but working with skin is completely different. It's so different. Holding a machine that's moving consistently is different. So like translating one medium to the other medium, you always have to be open-minded and willing to learn like, hey, like these are two totally different things. And even sometimes like you get clients that like, sometimes it is their skin. Sometimes, you know, people don't lotion, people don't hydrate before coming in, people don't eat before coming in. So you're also playing doctor. You got to make sure that people are safe, like coming into the space. Because we've had people where like they don't eat, they don't drink anything all day, and then they come and get a tattoo and they faint. Because your body, like, it's just a natural thing. No shame to those that it does happen to, because it does happen. But also being aware, like, you're also responsible for the person that's in front of you. So understanding, like, you're responsible not only for a good tattoo, but you're also responsible for somebody else's safety, overall safety. There's a lot of health stuff involved that you have to learn about. CPR, bloodborne pathogens, like learning all those things is very important. Obviously, to even get your license, you need to go through those certifications. So it's a lot of like research, learning, and just being an open mind and open book to things.
What were some of the hardest skills to pick up at first?
Everything at first. Line work, making sure it's not shaky, and I would say the basics. So like line work and then packing black. Packing black is like really, really hard. When you're first starting, because you're trying to get the concept of punching in black ink into skin without it looking patchy. And when you're doing it, of course, you have to see whether or not it's patchy as you're wiping and going. And like, you know, my coworkers have taught me different tricks to kind of see that as I'm going. And also taking your time with like doing the tattoo too. Like I'm a person that's like, I'm so excited. I just want to draw. And like, but you got to take your time. Obviously with tattoos, you can't rush through. So like shaky lines, packing, all those things, like they're always like tricks I always have to tell myself all the time. You got to take your time. Take it slow. If you need to, like, just take your time. Like, because at the end of the day, if you rush through it, it's going to look like it's rushed through it. So those were kind of the things that, like, I struggled with at first. And eventually over time, you get more confident and you feel better about it and you learn the different ways. Another thing that I struggled with at first was learning how to position a body on a bed. So, like, if we're tattooing, like, let's say, like, the inner arm here. You would think like, oh, I just like put their arm like this and tattoo. No. Like you lay them down. That way it's flat and it's pulled taut. and that way you can see it clearly and the skin's already pulled, so you don't have to do too much pushing around to get into there. So like positioning a body is very important as well, because that will also help you help determine how well the tattoo will come out. Because if you're fighting the skin to like maneuver it around to push it out of your way just to get in there, it makes it a lot harder.
What can you tell us about your tattooing style? I know you said you're still like figuring that part out, but what can you tell us about it?
For me, what I would like to do, let's put it this way, because I don't have a specific style, but I would like to get into things that are like color, illustrative, silly, good time fun. So like the most recent color things I've been doing is like glitter tattoos. So learning about that, like doing that was a lot of fun. So I had like a candy flash where like it had like Sour Patch Kids, little nerds guys, a gummy bear, just to like practice that idea too. And that's another thing, if you're being a tattoo apprentice, is trying different forms. So the next thing I'm going to be trying pretty soon, which I still am working on drawing out, is like American traditional style. So I'm trying different ways of doing things, and trying to be as versatile as I can, because like I said, my shop, we have a lot of different types of artists that you can learn from and ask questions about and different things. And the more you make and the more you ask questions, they can help you along the way with like developing things. But for me specifically, I don't really have a specific style. I'm open to do anything. The only thing I'm just like hesitant on is realism. And that's because it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy whatsoever. And I know over time I'll eventually get it, but it's going to take me a little bit of time to like kind of get there. So like no, lions or clocks and watches or compasses for me, guys. I'm so sorry.
So what motivates you to continue your apprenticeship, or what are some of the hesitations or roadblocks that you come across with apprenticeship?
I can answer both. So what helps me continue? Okay, so I'll start with the bad. That's better. So the negative parts, the roadblocks, is creative blocks. Money, like I said, money isn't it? Like can be an issue. Time, fighting time, because like not only am I doing this, but I'm also working another job. I also have a family of my own that I have to spend time with, friends, like social life, all the normal human things you need to like sustain yourself. It can be very hard and daunting, especially when it comes to this economy and money and stuff like that. It makes you reconsider a little bit, because it's like, dang, like groceries, needles. You just have to be smart with how you like manage yourself and manage your money and manage like your appointments and everything. But the things that help me kind of come back to it is really just the love of it. My fiance has always said, whenever I walk into the shop and he sees me there, I just look like my happiest. I'm so happy to be there. I'm just so happy to talk with my coworkers. I'm so happy to learn. I'm so happy to draw. I'm so happy to like be in that space of like creativity and being surrounded by other individuals who are not only just as creative but greater. And being like locked into that space, it's I can't really explain the amount of happiness that I feel when I'm in that space, because I feel like I'm doing, like, it just feels right. Yeah. And I think, like, whenever I tattoo, that's what it feels like every single time I'm tattooing someone. Like, when I tattooed Naji, and I was like, my stepsister, sorry. Like, our sister Naji. Yeah. And I was tattooing her, and we were just like, just talking, chatting and stuff. And like, as I'm locked in doing this, I'm like, I'm really locked in, but like, I'm also thinking about like, damn, like this is really what I want to do. Like, this is something I really, really want. And it just, at the end of the day, like, that's what will tell you whether or not you should continue. Yeah. Like, do you really want to do this? Like, is this something you really want to do? Yes or no? Even if I was in a terrible environment, like let's say I wasn't in a shop that was like super creative or anything, you have to find motivation to keep going. Yeah. And I think I still would keep going. I just would rely on others, like other tattoo artists, to ask questions for or whatever, and like find a different positive space later down the line. But it's just more, it all falls on you. How you want your tattoo journey to go. And like for me, like I still want to keep going. Yeah. And like, even if I feel hesitant about the future, or like, because another thing too, actually I forgot this negative, is that like I just want to get to this point of tattooing, meaning like I just want to like almost like hurry up the process a little bit. Like, I just want to be good. I just want to get good. And it's like, no. Like, I've talked to my coworkers about this too. Like, Ada, like, no, like that's not how that works. you just gotta let it flow. Like, it just has to happen.
Be patient,
and you have to be patient with yourself and be okay with that. And that's like a big lesson I had to learn too. To not get so hard on myself because I'm not there yet. Because everybody's like journey of going through stuff is different. Like, my coworkers have told me different stories about like their own personal journeys as well, and like having to work the 2 jobs, having to sacrifice time away from their family, having to sacrifice like social life, like all those things, spending late nights at the shop to like, you know, get appointments in there. Like, at the end of the day, it is a sacrifice, and but obviously like there is a well reward if you keep sticking it out. So yeah.
And I would like to say also, I think I always knew that I feel like your profession was always going to be in art, no matter what.
Everybody keeps saying that.
So when you started working at a bank, I was like, bro, what are you doing at a bank?
Well, they had money there. Not like that. But like it was money. It was it was good. Like, I just needed I got out of school and I needed to work. I couldn't just be sitting around. I couldn't, like, not that I didn't want to, no shame on fast food workers or anything like that, but I couldn't just keep working at like a Dunkin', or like I needed a job. Like, I needed like a big girl job. Yeah. And like I just couldn't fathom like not having anything underneath me. And like, that's one thing about me. I'll always be working. I'll be doing something. My family always knows that. Like, I'm always doing something. If I'm not working, I'm doing something. Like, I'm working on something else.
But if you could speak to yourself when you first started apprenticeship, what advice would you give yourself?
Be patient. That's a mantra of my entire life. Just be patient. Just be patient. Take your time. Don't be afraid to ask people to like be your skin. Just take your time. Be patient. Like, don't rush it. Like, these are kind of the days that a lot of tattoo artists say to, are like, like they think about it and they think about the tattoo they fucked up and they're like, ooh. But they're thinking about these days of like, this is when I started, and like, you know, had the being a new kid out of school kind of thing, where it's like the joy of it. So yeah, just be patient. Just take your time. Don't feel like you have to rush anything. Yeah. And just like be yourself. Like, don't be afraid of like putting your art out there, trying different mediums.
We're going to move on to still on the tattooing topic, but specifically I want to ask for your opinion on some of these things in regards to tattooing versus AI.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah.
So, right.
Okay.
A lot of people worry that AI can replace them in their job roles. So,
yes,
do you think this applies to tattoo artists as well?
Yes, absolutely. Because you know how many people. So, okay, 2 things. One, we can get people that come in with like a reference photo, which a tattoo artist will ask for, just to understand visually, like, what is it that you're looking for? Yeah. Not that they're going to copy it exactly, but they just want to know like, what are you envisioning? Sometimes they'll come in with AI tattoos, and this is what I meant by like certain tattoos don't make sense for skin. It can mess up the tattoo world by a lot, because it takes away the creativity. It takes away the human effect of tattooing, where it's like you go to a tattoo artist that specializes in this specific thing, and you're going to them because they specialize in that. Then you show them the AI work that is kind of like their style, and you're like, I just want this. I don't want you to change anything or put any creative spin on it. I just want you to make this thing. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I could stick and poke it, but like, I could also refuse to do this. It takes out the human aspect. I feel like it's going to mess up a lot. Also, there's also been talks of making tattoo machines that literally like, kind of like a printer. You put your arm in, they do the tattoo, 1, 2, 3, and then it's done.
Yeah. Absolutely not. I'm not putting my hand in no printer.
Like, basically, yeah. So it's very Blade Runner type-esque kind of vibe.
I was just thinking that,
Like, it again takes away the human aspects of things. And like, technically we work with machines all day long, so yeah, I mean, a machine could technically tattoo you if it really wants to, but
what if it malfunctions? And then that's like a Final Destination movie.
Again, no.
Right? Like I could just see it happening now. The next Final Destination movie, they're gonna put your arm in a new tattoo machine, and then it's gonna go deep into your bloodstream. But it's a real thing, and you know. But yeah, when it comes to AI, I'm not really a fan per se. Yeah. Top 10 thing I hate about AI, my biggest axe to grind with them is their animal videos.
I love animal videos. I love watching animal videos. I love watching genuine animal videos of animals doing silly, funny things. I don't like it when AI makes things look like like for example, there was a video I was watching the other day. This is the most recent one of a bear running away from what looks like an avalanche coming down. So he's running away from this avalanche, and then he ducks inside this person's cabin, like on the open area where like wood would be chopped up. So it's like a little canopy thing, and he runs inside and he's like hiding, and the avalanche comes over, and then he's blasted with snow. And I'm like, this fucking AI. It's fucking AI. And I get so mad because I'm like, oh my God, the poor bear.
It's not a real bear, actually.
It's not a real bear. He was never in danger. It's not even real, Suzanne. What are you doing? Like, our mom sent us a video and I had to tell her it was AI too.
Oh my gosh. Mom, don't even get me started. A mom in these AI videos. She doesn't even know.
She doesn't know. And it's okay. It's okay she doesn't know because we're there to tell her. And she's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's AI. Like, it was a video of this little dog, like on top of the bait, like a baby, like a baby's crawling and the dog is literally on top of it as it's crawling, and they're crawling around in the dark. And it was really fucking weird. And I'm like, this is AI, Mom. And she's like, really? Like, I thought, you know, they were best friends. And I'm like, nope, it's AI. So sorry to say.
All right. So now we can move on to the long awaited topic of this entire episode. Coraline. Okay. So let's talk about the book a little. Is it any different?
Very.
Really?
First of all, Coraline is not from Michigan in the book. She's not from the United States at all. She's actually from the UK.
She's British.
She's British. Coraline. Cool. I love the adaptation. Trust me, like reading the book made me look at the adaptation a little bit differently.
Yeah.
But I like the adaptation. I feel like it gave it a little bit more spunk. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. So how they described Coraline in the book, she wasn't like a little shit like she was in the movie. She really was like a really sweet kid, really smart, like knew that the adults were like kind of alluding to things but not really fully understanding. Like she really was just a kid. She was probably like, I feel like in the book she was approximately like the same age as she was in the movie, but she was still being treated like a kid. So she didn't really like that as much, but she wasn't like, oh my God, my parents are so annoying. Like her parents were very tentative too. They loved her. They loved that kid. They weren't like, oh, like get out of my hair. Like how they portrayed that in the movie where they were very like distant from her. They were like, walk around the house, see how you feel about it, like really pushing her to just like, figure out her stuff, give them some time to work on their work, but they weren't rude about it. Also, YB isn't a character in the book at all.
What?
No, he's not a real character in the book.
Wait.
So YB is basically a person to explain her inner monologue and thoughts. She's talking to another kid, which is herself. Does that make sense? His grandmother also actually wasn't really mentioned at all either. But it does give us a through line to like the ghosts and stuff in the movie.
Yeah, because I was about to say, how does that deal with the plot then? Because the plot changes.
Not really. Everything is very much so the same. It's just that we don't see YB's grandmother or YB. The cat is very much so inside. He's very, just as cunty as he is in the actual movie. Like very much so the same, where he's like, I'm the only me. What are you talking about? Like, please. The ghosts are still the same. The difference is like, instead of like, how the little boy looks like something out of the Little Rascals, like he's like in the Great Depression era. Nope. It's like a berries and cream kind of kid.
Berries and cream?
Yeah. Like, like little English, like old folk boy.
Old lad.
Yes. Old lad. Yes.
I'm a little lad.
And how they told the story in the book, like the when and where things happened was a little bit different too. Like how one scene happened later on in the movie versus like in front of it. Like for example, like when they go shopping for like school stuff, and she's like, oh, I want did happen in the book. Like she wanted these gloves and she wanted her mom to get her, but she's like, no. That happened in the beginning of the book. That didn't happen later, like and then the parents disappeared. Like, no, that actually happened a lot earlier. Also, Coraline was not impressed by the other world.
Really?
At least to me, when I was like listening to the book, it did not sound, she was like, oh, this is cool, but also really freaking weird. Like, why do you look like my mom? Why do you look like my dad?
Yeah.
And then, like, after the whole circus performance and all the things, and, like, the other mother comes to her, she's like, so, yeah, did you have a good time? And she's like, yeah, it was cool. It was all right. It was fine. And she's like, so you're going to sew these buttons in your eyes, right? And she's like, what? No. Like, I want to go back to my mom. Like, no. So even the energy was very different in the book of Coraline versus the movie, but I did like the adaptation because it gave you like, Coraline in the movie was like a little shit. She was like, no, like my parents aren't showing me attention, so whatever.
Right.
I got my other mother. She's going to entertain me. But it wasn't until the other mother brought up the buttons things and sewing things into her eyes. She was like, oh, no, like, that's not, no. That's not what I wanted to do. I just wanted to come here to, like, have recess, basically, and go back home. Versus the Coraline in the book is more like, okay, this is weird. All of this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, and she immediately felt off. Like, she wasn't really, like, she didn't seem like she was genuinely enjoying it as much as the other Coraline in the movie was.
Okay, so we're gonna deep dive into the movie now. Who was your favorite character in the film and why?
I would say the cat. Yeah. The cat was always cool. It was always doing its own thing. It really wasn't bothered. And that's how I feel like animals in paranormal situations are like anyway, where it's like they're unbothered with whatever goings on in either realm. They're like, I do my own. Like the cat was very cat energy of being like, I'm doing my own thing. I really don't care what's going on with you right now. Like, I'm gonna go get dinner now. I'll see y'all later.
Like meow.
Right. like meow.
Like
not like meow.
I feel like it was a good placement of the cat being in the storyline period because of that reason that, like, especially in the movie, the cat served as like a guide to Coraline. Like when Coraline was like, or okay, more specifically, the scene where they're in the other world. I think this was like right after the circus when her and the other YB went in. I think it was like after that when she started talking to the cat. He was trying to hint to her, like, hey, I know this may look really good, but like use your intuition because this isn't what it seems, kind of thing. A lot of it in the beginning, I feel like he was trying to hint to her that like the other world is not for you. Like this isn't, you're not supposed to be here. There was a scene where you can hear the mouse, the cat hears it, and then obviously, you know, the whole depiction between the cat versus the mouse. So there's that, but more specifically, because I think at that point, saw it like, no, like don't hurt the mouse. I think she was kind of seeing it more like blatantly in that way of like, oh, the cat is chasing the mouse.
But he bites into it and turns into a rat.
Exactly.
Which also, I forgot, that was another detail in the book. So in the book, they weren't jumping mice, they were rats.
What?
Yeah, so I also think that detail was very smart too, because in the movie it transitions like the innocence, the little jumping cute little mouse, and then you go to him chomping it and it turning into this ugly freaking rat, which love rats. Sorry, not sorry. I do like rats. I like as pet rats, you know, things like that's fine. Yeah. But like in the movie, it's shown as like an evil, like disgusting looking thing, to show the juxtaposition of like, oh, this is all fake. This is not real.
And exactly, and I just remember that as like a great example of the cat guiding Coraline, because the second that he took the mouse, she was like, no, don't hurt him, don't hurt him. And then he did it anyway, and you saw it turn into the rat, and he was like,
now what?
He literally said, in the movie, he literally did say, after he spit the rat out, he was like, I did say I didn't like rats. Because he did say that not too long before that. He was like, I don't like rats. And then he bit the rat and he's like, I told you I don't like them. So now here you go. This is a hint.
Here's the truth.
This is the truth that like, this isn't what it seems to be. And I think that's like when Coraline really started to like piece things together a little bit more quickly of like, oh, the other mother is showing me everything that I like.
Red flag.
But a red flag, right? Because you're like, okay, but my real mother doesn't act like this. So like,
because initially she thought it was a green flag. Like, oh, like my mom is not cooking for me. She's not making these awesome meals for me or entertaining me or having fun with me. And then come to find out that it's all just really a ruse to like get her to like her. Yeah. To feel more trusting towards her so that way she can take her.
So yeah, so like when it comes to the cat, I really liked his character. In a deeper context, yes, I think the cat was my favorite character, but I think in a more whimsical, funny aspect, Bobinsky.
Yeah, I get that too. He's just so like weird.
like I'm like,
so
why are
odd.
you? First of all, like, why are you blue? Like, what? Why are you wearing these short shorts? Like, why are you standing on a roof in the beginning of the movie?
What did you get that medal for?
Exactly.
He has a medal on his like tank top. Like, why? Why do you have a medal?
Why is he wearing a dirty ass tank top?
I don't know.
Why? Like, why does he have like a mustache that looks like the bristles from a broomstick
that are not corrected or fixed?
Exactly. Like literally the opening scene when Coraline is moving into the Pink Palace and you see Bobinsky at the literal point of the roof just doing squats,
just walking around.
He's like 1, 2, like just working out on the literal top of the roof with his skinny legs.
When the person honks at him because he got thrown off for a second. And I'm like, bro, why are you on the roof anyway? Why are you on the roof?
Like, bro, you don't got enough room in your apartment? Like,
or just like, don't do that.
Like you have a whole lot of grass here?
It's a common space. What's good with you?
like this isn't even a rooftop. Like you're literally, like the house is like this, the roof. Mm-hmm. And he's right on the tip of the point. I'm like, how does that even?
Mm-hmm. Also, his legs were very long
and skinny. So like, yeah, Babinski was definitely one of my favorites. Miss Spink and Miss Forcible too.
Yeah, in the movie, I did like them as characters as well because it gave like a little bit of character, I guess, like dynamic to them. Like they're like these kooky old ladies, but they still got it,
with their little dogs.
Yeah, and their eyeglasses that are like this small and they still can't see.
I always like the glasses with the stick on the side. She's
very
like,
opera-esque opera glasses. Yes.
I'm like, what are you seeing with those?
Nothing, apparently.
You know what? That's so real. I've seen enough. I don't need these anymore. Give me whatever Miss Forcible had. I think that's also like really cool when they put in animations, especially like when they put thought into characters' names and they tie it to what the character does, type of thing.
Even in the book, they did the same thing. So I wonder if that was like almost like an Easter egg for like the future for her. Like they were just like people that could, because they did read her tea leaves too. Yeah. And it was basically the same kind of thing where it's just like, like you're in danger, girl.
Yeah. Coraline, you're in terrible danger. Okay, I want to talk about the opening credits because I feel like the opening credits has
so artistically beautiful too.
It's so artistically beautiful, and it's such a major like you have to put your thinking cap on for this, and especially when you get through to the end of the movie, you kind of piece it together of like, oh, the opening credits was other mother making Coraline's. Well, actually, no. In the opening credits, she started making the grandmother's sister's doll.
No, in the opening credits, she was discombobulating it.
Oh, yeah. Discombobulating, like taking it apart. And then made Coraline.
See, but my question is, what I find interesting about that scene, how did the other mother know what she looked like?
I was literally just going to ask you that.
So the other mother's monster is considered a beldam, which is basically like low-key kind of like a witch banshee type crossover thing. Yeah. But I don't understand how she knew what she looked like. How did she know when she was coming? How did she know those things?
Especially when you think about the time period, because it was literally YB's grandmother's sister that went missing when they grew up in the Pink Palace. Yes. The other mother had her doll, deconstructed it, and then made Coraline's doll and gave it to the grandmother because the grandmother had Coraline's doll. So what I don't understand is how the other mother knew Coraline was coming and she wasn't even born yet.
So I think she was making the doll for her arrival. I don't think she was making the doll prior to Coraline being born. YB's grandmother had the doll because she knew that her sister went missing and this was the last thing that she had of her. So she's like, I'm keeping this doll, but I guess she hid it away because YB ended up finding it and it looked exactly like Coraline when he found it. So he was like, yo, Jonesy, guess what I got? Like this
as like a plant. Yeah.
Just to kind of feed it to her because like I think, and that's another question too, is like where did YB find it and why did he think it was a good idea to give it to her and not talk to his grandmother about it? Was it something perpetuated by the other mother to like almost like got in his head to like go look for it or go find something? I think she maybe had a feeling another kid was coming in. But how she got that feeling is weird.
And did you notice too when she was making Coraline's doll, she was using the needle wheel?
Yes.
And how there was the spider webs behind it. And I was like, and that kind of shows you, I feel like, how long it's been since she made in the last one. Because there were only, in the movie, there were only three ghosts. And we know one of them was the grandma's sister.
I think based on how they were dressed, like it was a little pilgrim girl, and then the little boy looked like something out of the Great Depression. Yeah. So like
the time period there was a lot of like
gaps in between.
I want to kind of touch on the soundtrack for the movie too. And I really like the opening credit song too.
Oh no, 1000%.
dun, dun. I don't even know what the girl's saying. Loki. I think it's in French or something.
And it's definitely like a kid's choir, and it makes it feel just as eerie.
Eerie, yeah.
Eerie.
But during the movie, I noticed too that the other mother was singing one of the songs that was like reoccurring throughout the film.
She would hum a lot.
But I wonder too if there's like any significance behind that.
Maybe because like the people who are singing the songs are kids, and what does she like?
Children.
Exactly. So maybe.
The children.
Maybe.
I didn't really understand the well significance in the movie.
So the things that were around the well, it was like little mushrooms, like, and just mud covering it. And YB like opened it and he's like, yeah, like it's like a really deep well that like if you fall in, you're not going to be able to come out of it. I think the significance, it depends on, I mean, thinking about it now, because I never thought about it, but thinking about it now, maybe it means like a sense of like purgatory, like it's dark. It's wet. There's nothing there. Yeah. So like sending the other mother there like into a dark abyss where she should be. Yeah. And is going to be trapped there and nothing is going to be able to get her out of it. Sounds like purgatory to me. Yeah. Like you're just kind of like in the middle of the way.
Yeah. The other mother really curated this entire other world specifically tailored to what the children really want.
Even unconsciously.
Yes.
Because like who knows like if she definitely picked out those packets to plant them, but like remembering those small details of like, I know that she really wants these things to be planted and for it to look big and beautiful. Yeah.
The other thing too that I just remembered, YB was like telling Coraline how he's surprised that she's there because the grandmother owns the Pink Palace and she doesn't rent it out to kids. So I'm almost wondering what like allow this one time to have a kid in the Pink Palace.
That's what I wondered too. And in the book they mentioned like kids weren't allowed, but not for that reason, just like they just weren't allowed. And I think they might have lied if I remember right. I forgot. But like why would I didn't understand that either. But that's also what makes me think the other mother had something to play. Yeah. Had to play in something.
And if that's the case, then what was it exactly that the other mother did to convince the grandmother to allow that to happen?
There was no explanation for that too. Maybe they also lied. Maybe they said on like their housing application, like, yeah, it was just two of us.
I feel like the really good thing about hello, good morning. The really good thing about Coraline that I admire the most is how the directors didn't answer every single question for you. And they left a lot of room for you to think. And I like that we have so many questions about specific parts of movies because that keeps the imagination alive a little bit of like, okay, they're not going to answer this question. And I feel like the way that they left the movie off too was giving very much, oh, there's going to be a part 2. Obviously there isn't. I mean, if there is in the works,
would love that.
I would love it.
Would love that.
And anyway, but they left it off very much like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make you want more type of thing. And I really admire when directors go that creative route because I think, especially for kids movies, they need to learn to use their creative imagination, especially today. Because going back to the whole AI thing, like, and iPad kids, very specific.
Well, I turned into an iPad kid, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we're adults, Lynn.
Okay, I'm an iPad adult.
I think it's very important for movies geared for kids to leave room for them to use their imagination in certain situations and make them use their critical thinking.
And even if you think about it, technically this movie is a kid's movie.
Technically.
So I feel like it's directed in a way a kid is not going to ask those specific questions that we have, like the outer questions, like why would they move into this place if they wouldn't allow kids? Why wouldn't like certain questions like as an adult we would have, but as a kid we're thrown into the story, we understand, we get it as a kid. She's fed up with their parents and like her neighbors suck because they don't know her name. Like we're just thrown into like her perspective of like what her circumstances. She misses home. She misses her friends. Her parents don't want to hang out with her. She's eating like crappy food and like, all the bad things that she's experiencing in that moment. We're empathizing with her. And when she goes to the other world, we're also like, we empathize with her. We get why she's doing it, but we're also like, ooh, girl, no, like this is not the right way to go about it. And it's kind of like those cautionary tales you tell a kid growing up. Like The Big Bad Wolf is technically a cautionary tale of like teaching children not to talk to strangers, that kind of thing. So this in a way is like a cautionary tale where it's like the grass isn't always greener. So it's telling it from that kind of cautionary kid perspective. And I feel like that's also why we have so many questions on the outside of like, wait, I don't understand, how is this even possible, because X, Y, and Z, and we're bringing reality into it when it's meant for a child to, exactly what you said, be creative and figure it out themselves.
Yeah. And I think especially now more movies need to be that way,
like be different. I feel like that's what we kind of suffer now with movies. They're not different.
Yeah,
I feel like no one's really taking risk, like, because after Coraline we got Paranorman. Yep, we got Kubo. Like we got a lot of things from this specific production company that were different stories and different things happening and different different ways of doing storytelling through this medium. And I feel like there's not that many movies out there that really take that risk. And if they do take that risk, it's off the backing of other franchises, like a remake of something, and they're just retwisting something, and then the fans are pissed because you changed everything about the franchise. So like stuff like that.
What I also really liked about the movie, what they did was when Coraline would first go, the first 2 times when she went to the other world, it was very like upbeat, happy, energetic, full of life, and even though they were fake, full of life and like full of light and all that kind of, and wonder, yeah. And then as time goes on, you can kind of see it go downhill, because when the other mother would start to push for the buttons for the eyes, you could kind of see, especially in the other father and YB, you start to see their demeanor change. Everything starts to slowly turn negative in a way, which in the other world, that wasn't supposed to happen, because it's supposed to be very upbeat, happy, energetic, full of life, and for Coraline to want to be there forever. And I think when we started pushing for the button eyes, and when Coraline started to be more hesitant with everything in the other world, is when you see the demeanor change. Because in the other father, like if you think about it, so the real father, he's both of the parents really, they're both like gloomy, dark, kind of like boring parents. Yeah. And then in the other world, you have upbeat, energetic, happy parents, engaging, and then the other father though kind of slip into acting like the real father a little bit, of like that nonchalant, like, or
even slipping like with what he tells Coraline, like information that she shouldn't be, like things he shouldn't be saying, like when she suggested the buttons to her and he was like,
the needle's like sharp, you're not gonna feel a
thing, and she like kicks the crap out of him, because like it literally was just a slip, like, and realistically these characters that are around Coraline besides the other mother are curated by her. They're not real, so she literally makes them for solely the purpose of just being body bags to just say yes ma'am, no ma'am, do what I say and not what I do kind of vibe. And if, like, for example, when she noticed YB wasn't smiling and being happy, she twisted, she put it things inside of him to make him smile, because she was tired of seeing him frown, because he knew what was happening. But I also find that interesting too, that you say that, because even YB started changing too. Yes. Because like, yes, you can make something fake, but you're using the essence of the real person. So the dad starting to slip, being more like blah, and then YB switching emotionally to be like, no, I care about Coraline. I want her to survive. I don't want her to die here.
And speaking of YB, you can kind of see him, because like you said, like, they're more puppets, like they're not actual, they're not real people. They were curated by the other mother. But what I think is funny is that the other YB, you see him build a conscious, but like that's contradicting, because he's not supposed to be a real person.
And we're talking about AI here. You can't make nothing out of nothing. And I think that was kind of the issue with these puppets, is that like she used I don't know what she did in order to create them, but I know for a fact she might have used some type of like way of using their own like real essence to put into these puppets that really know Coraline, because they got to know her in the real world, and then bringing them into the other world. Okay, like, you know everything about Coraline, you know what she likes, you know about your conversations that you had with her, and like you know what she doesn't like. Like, do the things that she likes. I'm pretty sure she used their essence just to like, so that way they have a greater understanding of who Coraline is, and they know how to engage with her. When they start when YB started realizing like, oh, like, well, he knew, because he's a puppet, he knows what the end game is. He's like slowly feeling those feelings. He becomes more sentient that way, where he's like, yo, like, I don't feel comfortable with the idea of like hurting this girl, because I really want her to go back home. And even when Coraline was like, come with me, like when she's running and trying to go back home, And he takes off his glove. He's like, it's over. It's clipped for me.
Because he's going to fade away by the time he gets over there.
Exactly. So he's not even real, but he wants her to survive, and he's okay with that. And like, that's crazy to think about. He's just a puppet.
And he's not supposed to have a conscience. Like, that's so crazy. So when Coraline had went through the tunnel again to go back to the real world, and she got there, no one was saying, there was no response or anything. So she went back, and she went to go find the other mother, but couldn't find her. She runs into the other father in the piano room again, and she's like, where's the other mother? I need to see her now, type of thing. And then the other father turns around, and I don't remember what he said.
I think he's like, in due time, like she's getting ready or something.
Like he gave her like a hint,
like that she's getting ready,
that something's happening. And before he could finish it, the gloves kind of take over and like cover his mouth and make him turn around. I thought that was really creepy.
I think he literally says like she's getting ready or whatever. And then Coraline mentioned something about the other YB. And he's like, well, he pulled a long face, and Mother didn't like that. And then pulled him. That was the second time the hands pulled him around. Yeah. And like that really creeped out Coraline because his face was so dramatically pulled. Like a human face should not be able to pull down that low. Because like his whole mouth and jaw came down. So I think that also freaked her out. So like, again, like they're loosening up because she's also, I think they became more sentient as she was getting more antsy, the other mother. Yeah. She was getting more antsy because she was like, I want this girl to say yes. I want this girl to say yes like now. And like getting impatient almost, which I think is kind of funny because like as a predator, you would think you would take your time and allow your prey to fall into your clasp a little bit more. But she was getting very impatient with her, especially after she said no to the buttons. It really freaked her out. She's like, okay, now we're going nuclear. Yeah. We're going nuclear. Who cares at this point? I don't care if you know about everything. I get what you're saying though. Like that one scene where like he's like loosely saying things to her and she's like, huh? And the hands are like, they're trying to censor him from saying anything more that's going to expose the plan. Yeah.
So how did the real parents get into the globe? And then at the end of the movie, why don't they remember what happened?
I think... But this also leads into the thing that I was just saying about the grandmother being coaxed by the other mother. So she can manipulate things that are happening in the real world, but I don't understand how. And only to a certain degree. How many times did Coraline go back and forth?
I think it was like
three times.
Yeah.
And then the fourth time was to fight her. So maybe, I don't know, maybe like that also, the opening of the door starts things too. But I don't understand how the grandmother, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that part out too, because like I don't get how the other mother has like worldly powers in the normal world unless Coraline opened that door those 3 times, which that would make sense because you're opening the portal kind of thing.
And 3 is a significant number. Look at us.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think because she was opening that portal it was increasing her reach a little bit more. So because she knew that Coraline would be pulled if she took her parents away from her, I think that's why she did that. She definitely did that with the intention of bringing her back into going through the portal again.
All right. This is what the Google is saying. I asked the question, how did the other mother control things in the real world? And then in parentheses, I put like the grandma allowing Coraline to live there, etc. So this is what it said. The other mother likely did not control the real world. Okay. Instead, she used the spying doll that she made in the beginning of the movie of Coraline. Okay. To learn, or in general speaking, actually. She used the spying doll to learn about children who were unhappy and then created a perfect, enticing world just for them. Correct. So it wasn't necessarily her. It was more so the doll was kind of like a vessel of figuring out.
Oh, so maybe when she heard... Okay. So now I can understand how she knew about Coraline then. Because if the grandmother... Maybe... Okay, so maybe out of the kindness of her heart, the grandmother was like, you know what? It's been a while since like something happened. I'm going to let this family move in. They have a kid, but whatever. And the vessel heard that. The old vessel heard that. And like heard her talk about this kid, and maybe she was able to
the old vessel being her sister's doll.
Yes, was able to call it back and be like, all right, cool. So we're gonna make a new doll for this new kid, whoever they are. Maybe spiritually she was able to figure out what she looked like, and that's how that happened. Yeah. But like, yeah, okay. So maybe honestly, at the kindness of her heart, the grandmother just said like whatever, like cool, but like my grandson isn't going over there. Maybe she thought it was like more of an insight, like it particularly happened to her family. Maybe it won't happen again because maybe the other mother was looking for her or her family. I'm still trying to understand that part, but that makes sense of how she found out about Coraline and her family.
Okay, so this kind of answers the why she let Coraline and the family like move in.
Why?
So, all right, this is what it says. So the doll showed Coraline to her parents in the real world, and Coraline's parents were not in a financial situation to rent the apartment without help from the grandmother.
Okay.
Coraline's parents were struggling financially, so they needed help.
Makes sense because they were struggling to write that damn book or magazine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then it says, the grandmother knew about the doll and its connection to the Beldam because she had been a victim before and hid the doll to protect others.
Okay.
She probably didn't hide it well because, again...
YB found it.
And that's also how the Beldam was able to make Coraline's doll.
Correct.
When Coraline's parents moved in, the grandmother was also on the other side trying to help Coraline's parents who were in a financial trouble. And that's why she let Coraline move in.
Okay. So, yeah, it really was the kindness of her heart. Look at me.
Yeah. It pretty much was just that simple of like, they were in a financial hardship. So she was like, all right, I will let you move in. The grandmother had already hidden the doll from the other mother's spies and knew that she had already done enough to protect others from the Beldam's influence.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, pretty much you were right of like, she probably didn't think anything of it, of like, nothing's happened in the last few years. Like, it's really just...
Yeah, maybe I
feel like it's fine.
Yeah, and they're going to be fine.
And it was just that simple, yeah. Still, though, I don't understand the significance of the globe.
I think it was just an obsession of the family that they had. They, like, didn't the mom collect, like, snow globes and stuff? They had a bunch of snow globes.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And then also, if you think about it, too, like, that's another source of, like, purgatory in a way of, like, being trapped in a small bubble type of thing. Okay, yeah, I see that.
And it was cold. Poor thing.
That, too. But I also don't know how the parents don't remember at the end of the movie.
I think it's kind of like the Peter Pan effect. The minute that you leave Neverland, you don't remember anything.
I guess, but then wouldn't that also apply to the grandmother in a way?
Well, no, because she lost her sister.
Yeah, but she knew.
Well, she knew, but it wasn't like she was affected by anything the Beldam did. She knew something happened to her sister. She knew there was a monster there. She probably researched it herself because she was just a kid when that happened.
Yeah.
And she tried to tell people like she got snatched and nobody believed her. So she probably went on a spree of like trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
And nobody believed her. But she found out what happened and was just like, okay, I know how to control this and figure it out and like, you know, make sure my grandson stays away. You know, make sure nobody looks at this doll, et cetera, et cetera.
The last question I have, well, last two questions, but they're both similar.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene and why? And then what was your least favorite scene and why?
Favorite scene, just because I like the song, my twitchy witchy girl, I think you are so nice. I give you bowls of porridge and I give you bowls of ice cream. And like in the book, they mentioned that song too. Like it's a song that the dad made for her or whatever. I like that scene because it shows that the parents do care about Coraline. They really do love her. They're just stressed out. They just look stressed. They look real, like the dad looks like he hasn't slept in days. The mom got into some accident that was caused by Coraline somehow. Like they're just pissed. They're just pissed. And I get that as being an adult myself and being like tired, like I get it. If they were financially struggling, as like Google said, it makes a lot of sense why they were really trying to crack down and finishing this magazine and making sure everything was perfect.
I think my favorite scene was, and I love food, and this makes sense. My favorite scene was when she was having dinner with the other family, and the other mother made the table look so elaborate with the dinner, like it looked really good.
Mango milkshake.
that was like that forever engraved in my head. But more specifically, the gravy boat on the train that came around. That ever since I saw it the first time, I always wanted a train at the dinner table to come with the little choo-choo and the little gravy boat on top. I don't even eat gravy like that. Exactly. Like, what do you mean? Like, yes, I want
so
that.
satisfying. Honestly, watching the food scenes, the bacon, the omelet, the hot cocoa that she made for her, everything that she made for her, I wanted. It looked so good. And that was part of it. Because the food in the real world looked freaking disgusting. Disgusting. Vegetable lasagna, whatever that was, like disgusting. Disgusting. Why? Why would I wouldn't even feed that to my dogs? No.
It looks so disgusting.
It was so bad.
But and also too, like it kind of entails with like how much I love the animation style because it's very different from your average like animated kid movie at the time and cartoons. Like it was very giving. Obviously, it wasn't Tim Burton because it was a different production company. Yeah, but it was. The stop motion kind of thing. I really enjoy watching movies like that, and that definitely played in a factor of why I love that scene so much.
Mm-hmm.
My least favorite, though.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
I feel like what it is, because you don't like spiders and bugs, it's literally their fight scene. Their entire, like, when the web and the buggies, even the bugs twitching out, like, I feel like you don't like any of that.
No.
Which also, in the book, she said that she was scared of spiders. Coraline had a phobia of spiders. She was not fucking with spiders. She did not like spiders whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, like, that was, like, a perfect segue into making her to an arachnid woman.
I'm like, first of all, why is she this big thing with these mechanical scissor hand looking,
like Edward Scissorhands?
But she was also, like, a spider at the same time.
Yes, and porcelain.
Made no sense. And then the web, and first of all, the sound effects with the web too. When she fell through, I was like, like, it makes you think about, like, the depth of it, like how deep really is it. I hated the fight scene when she turns into that spider looking thing and they get caught in the web and stuff. But also, and I think it's a little ironic too, because I watched it last night and then I also watched it this morning too. While I was in the shower, I washed my hair. I was rinsing the water through, dilly-dallying, just in my own world. Why did I look up?
Spider.
At the light.
Speeder.
A daddy long leg.
He's clearing out the mosquitoes.
I don't care if there's no mosquitoes.
Well, you don't know that. Do you see what he sees?
Lynn, I kid you not. I have never gotten out the shower so fast in my entire life.
Did you get out slowly? Or did you get out, like, in a hurry?
Well, I got out slowly.
Okay, good. I was like, please don't break your neck for a daddy long leg. If you told me, like, something crazy like an orb spider with a fat butt, then I get it.
That was my least favorite scene because I have a big fear of spiders.
I did find Mr. Bobinski, like the other Mr. Bobinski scene, very creepy.
But are you talking about the one when the rats were controlling him?
Oh, that
creeped me out so bad too.
Not like least favorite because it's bad, but least favorite because it
scared
me. It actually scared me more than, like, her fighting her, even though, like, her falling down on her was crazy. And it was creepy too, but that one was very creepy because it goes from, like, she's like, you're not real. Like, he gets, like, really low and gravelly when he talks to her, and it was so creepy. And she was trying to take off the coat, and they all run out, and it's the rats. Ugh. It was just so creepy.
It was so creepy. But, like, again, the animation and everything about that movie was just so well done and put together.
And fluid.
And I really, again, like, I also really liked the fact that this was supposed to be a kid's movie. But also kind of making it kind of like a horror film a little bit. And I loved that. It was
slight thriller.
And it was so well put together that literally all ages could enjoy this movie. That's what I love too.
So I got a question for you.
Okay.
So obviously this is a Halloween season. Yeah. And people watch a lot of different types of, like, Halloween-esque, Halloween spooky, whatever kind of movies. What are some movies that you watch during the season to kind of either get in the spirit or, like, just to watch for funsies? Or are you more of a person that you like watching random types of spooky movies?
I think definitely, and mind you, at any time of the year, I'll watch this entire series, but the Conjuring series is one of my favorites. I do like paranormal movies.
Yes.
I also like psych thrillers.
Yes.
And
I got one for you.
And movies like Fear Street. That series, Fear Street. I like movies like that, like very psych thriller, serial killer type of vibe.
Slasher films?
Slasher films, yeah. Fear Street is one of my favorites. The Conjuring.
How do you feel about The Terrifier?
Dude, Mark has been trying to get me to watch the movie, and I've been wanting to. I just keep forgetting.
Mark's range of horror stuff is scary. It's so scary. Terrifier, okay, it's not very scary so much as it's more gory.
Yeah.
And that's not really my jam, but, like...
See, that doesn't bother me.
It's not that it bothers me. I'm just, like, I really feel grossed out. I'm just grossed out. I'm not scared of it. I'm just grossed out.
I feel like I think where I draw the line is when it starts to get really creepy. Not in a, like, paranormal, like.
That's what I'm like, what do you mean?
Not in, like, the horror sense, but I mean more of, like, creepy in the, like, morality type of way.
Like what?
Like,
give me a movie. Give me a movie or a show that kind of crosses that line.
Okay. Well, it's not a movie, but the one season that they did that I really shied away from watching this entire show entirely was American Horror Story.
Which one?
It was the one, I think it was the hotel one.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah, that one kind of. It was very creepy. I get what you're saying. I think I understand what you're saying. But what about it? What about it?
Well, I don't think I can put this in the show.
Okay. Yeah. But okay. Okay. But yeah.
There was that one scene where they were like, and this is, mind you, this is my first impression of the show too.
Because this is your first season watching it?
I didn't watch it, but I think someone else was watching it, and I just so happened to like walk in and see that.
I wonder if it was. Hopefully, it wasn't me.
It might have been.
Sorry.
I also like Halloween movies and shows that have like that comedic aspect to it as well.
Because horror and humor go hand in hand, but Scream Queens is more of a reference to like majority of like slasher films have main character women that are running away from the antagonist as they're the protagonist, or even they're the antagonist themselves. Like Carrie, she's a Scream Queen, like the actresses. Yeah, it's just more of a term to explain like, oh, like they're Scream Queen from like this movie. Like what's even more interesting in horror, there's so many women actresses that were no-name actresses that were the main characters. And then that's no longer a thing. I feel like a lot of people in horror now, they're looking for big name people to play like certain parts. When before they used to just invest in whoever and whatever. Movies for me, it's funny because I'm the opposite. I don't like being scared. There's nothing about me that I like thrillers. I do like things like that, like what we're saying, like psychological thriller kind of thing. Yes. Like I'm thinking of like Shutter Island. I'm thinking about like, actually just recently, good recommendation. Shout out to Kat for this. It's Gothica. It's a good psychic thriller, like psycho thriller kind of thing. And it's like a mix of like paranormal stuff inside of it as well. I love A Halloween Town.
Oh, yeah. Halloween Town for sure.
I know Nightmare Before Christmas isn't technically, I know people argue that it's a Christmas movie. I get that. I understand, but it's both. It's okay if you watch both times. Both. I watch it through the whole season. I love how we skip over Thanksgiving. Yeah, Coraline was definitely one of them. Yep. Paranorman, Monster House.
All of Tim Burton films.
Frankenweenie, like all the things. Edward Scissorhands. Yep. Over the Garden Wall. I'm more of an animation kind of person around this time frame too. Yeah. Like Over the Garden Wall, perfect film for like fall time fun. I do like watching like old slasher films don't really scare me, like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween. It's always funny watching like how far we come with horror. Yeah. And the idea that Jamie Lee Curtis is almost like, you ever see the movie Psycho? The shower scene where the lady's like showering and she screams and the dude's like, dun, dun, yeah. That's Jamie Lee Curtis's mom.
Really?
Yeah. And it's funny because she's like a Scream Queen, almost like a Nepo baby. So that's also very interesting. Anything paranormal freaks me out, like genuinely freaks me out. Yeah. I will not sleep for days. Gothica actually, like for the first night, freaked me out a little bit. Okay, so for this movie, what's crazy about it, it opens up with Halle Berry, who's the main character. Why did you forget his name? The guy who plays Tony Stark in Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. I was like, there's initials. I know the initials. I'm like trying to
I see the letters.
I see the letter and I'm not putting it together.
God. Okay. They're in this psycho thriller. Basically, it opens up that Halle Berry is like part of a psych ward that takes care of women. And like, she's like the top person everybody like talks to. She's a great therapist, like very smart. And her husband is the director of this entire facility. So like, she's super successful. Robert Downey Jr.'s character is part of like her team of psychiatrists, but he has a crush on her and it's well known. But they're good coworkers. She loves her husband. Everything's cool. They all appreciate her and her work. And like some of the women have been, they have hallucinations. More specifically, Penelope Cruz is one of the characters who plays one of her patients. And she's having like these moments of like meeting the devil in her cell and like hurts her. Halle Berry's character is like, don't you think this is you just manifesting like your previous trauma with your stepfather? She's like, yeah, but this is actually happening to me. And Halle Berry's like, all right, up her meds. So she goes about her night and like she says bye to her husband. Her husband's going home. It's like a stormy night as always. And she sees like this girl standing in the middle of the road. So she gets out of her car. Obviously she freaks out. She crashes her car. She sees this girl. She runs up to her. She's like, yo, are you okay? Like, are you good? And this girl literally grabs her, screams, and then Halle Berry just wakes up in the same psych ward, but as a patient. Like, they come in, she's like, what's happening? They're like, you murdered your husband, like brutally murdered your husband. And she's like, what? And it's just like a whole thing about figuring out what's happening, how it happens. It's so good. You have to rent it on Amazon, but it's good.
Oh, you know what horror movie is really good? Talk to me.
Oh my God, I did want to watch that, but I was scared.
Okay, I will say I had Rory watch it. She hated me after that.
Now I'm not going to want to talk to anybody.
Okay, well, to be fair, we did watch it late at night and right before we went to bed. So Don't do that. Maybe watch it during the day. It is a really good movie because it's definitely different. It's based in Australia. They basically, like, there's this molded hand that's like, it looks like this.
Okay.
Like it's gonna shake your hand.
And
the hand, they basically say that they got it from this guy who, in that story, it shows, it's the opening scene.
Okay.
Right off rip, basically a murder happens. And then he kills himself. And that guy gets it from someone else. He basically says that the hand, you have to do like the specific routine in order for it to work. You grab the hand and then you say, talk to me. And then I think you close your eyes when you do that, and then you open them, and they're supposed to be like a creature of some sort or like a spirit or creature of some sort sitting in front of you, but only you can see it. No one else can. And you do this in front of other people, like your friends and stuff. But like,
is this a party game?
Yes.
What?
And like basically, you shake the hand, you say, talk to me, and then there's supposed to be something in front of you. And it's supposed to be really creepy looking. They don't show it too often.
Oh, they don't show what the thing is?
Not too often. I think they only do it like a couple of times.
They flash back and forth? Like quickly? Like where you can't really see it?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, that's so effed.
So, well, like, yes, but like, I think
it's building that fear though.
But there's a better build up here. So the storyline follows this girl and her brother, but the main character is the girl's best friend.
Okay.
And they're probably like around in high school age. Like,
okay.
Around there, and then the brother is like maybe middle school. The girl, not the best friend, she is very level-headed, very like, no, we're not doing that, very like, you know, put the foot down type of vibe. She's the older sister, so she's like obviously watching out. The brother and the sister lives in a single mom household, and the mom pretty much is always working, so she's not really home a lot. So basically she's watching over her brother for the most part. The best friend lives with her dad. Her mom passed away, I think, a year before this occurs. Yeah, they were basically trying to say that, like, the mother had a lot of, like, mental health issues and stuff like that. So they go to this other person's party where they had the hand. And they play it. So basically the premise of the talk to me thing, when the creature or something in front of you happens, they kind of control over your body a little bit. And that's what everyone else sees. Basically, they get to like use you as a
puppet.
A puppet a little bit. But you only do it for a certain amount of time. And after that time is done, then you break it apart and you finish. You turn off all the candles and everything. Like and you come back to life, like reality, and it goes away. Supposed to. And basically, they go to the party, they see it happen, and it's like fun. It's not very like horror, scary type of vibe. They just kind of show what the creature is making you do, type of thing.
What does it make them do?
It changes. So
it does silly stuff to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of have to. There is one creepy scene, but like I'm not gonna explain it. You kind of just have to like.
Yeah, that's fine.
But the main plot is basically when the siblings go and the best friend goes. They see it. The best friend's like, oh yeah, like let's do it. The best friend does it. The sister's like, hell no, I'm not touching that. And neither are you, to the brother. And she goes up, she plays it. And it's funny, whatever, cool. The brother wants to do it, but the sister's like, absolutely not, you're not doing it. Like, there's no way I'm letting you do that.
I have a feeling I know who he's going to call upon, but
yeah. So there's two parties that happen. So that was the first one. Then they have another one when the sister agrees to have another smaller party between the people that have the hand and just them at their house. And the best friend does it again. They're going back and forth and everything. And then it gets to a point where the sister is like, all right, like that's it. The brother wants to do it and is trying to convince her. She's like, no, you're not doing it. The sister steps out, and then the brother goes to the best friend and basically was like, what, like I really want to do it, like I'm really bummed that she's not letting me. And the best friend is like, well, I guess we could just try, instead of doing it for this long, we could like knock it down a little, like a few seconds. And then chaos ensues, and basically this is when it starts to pick up really quick. So the brother goes up to do it, but what happens is that he ends up summoning, quote unquote, I don't think that he literally summoned her, because again, when you summon things, they're not necessarily people, or they're more so creatures or things that were never living. He ends up summoning the best friend's mom, and chaos ensues because when she realizes that what's possessing him is her mother, then she's like trying to talk to her mother and finally speak to her again. And the timer's quickly going off. The other people that
like, we need to close this
was like, we need to close this. Like, come on, like, it's done. And she's like, no, but I want to talk to her one more time.
Oh my God, you were just saying how badly you didn't want your brother to do this. And the minute that your mother is in front of you, you want to run the clock. Like, please. Oh my gosh.
And this is the best friend too. The sister's not even in the room.
Right.
So she doesn't even know that this is happening.
Right.
And so this is going down and it's like chaos is building up or whatever. The sister comes in and she's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what is happening?
Why is my brother being a conduit right now?
Exactly.
For this thing?
And obviously she's mad. I guess they did break it apart, but they didn't do it in a timely manner that the spirit or whatever it was still lingering and possessed in him.
Possessive.
At this point, the creatures were pretty much using the brother as a vessel.
Yeah.
And basically what ends up happening is chaos ensues even more because he starts banging his head on like a thing. He ends up being hospitalized. There's a lot more that goes into that, but I won't explain it. You just
gotta watch it. Okay,
you just gotta watch
that was a good synopsis for the first like couple of like.
It really is a good movie in the sense of like scary psych thriller type of thing. It's one of those things that really messes with your head too. And I think it's still on Netflix. So.
Yeah, I'll check it out. And I think like majority of like that's why I don't like possession things because that's what possession is. Like the only thing I could use as not an explanation, but like a juxtaposition or like something similar to something like this is like in anime, for example, like there's a TV show, Full Metal Alchemist, and in that show, basically the main characters are trying to resurrect their mom from the dead by using alchemy. Obviously, it does not go as planned, because the thing is that you have to, like, it's impossible. You can't raise the dead. Like, that's always been a thing within, like, horror movies and even, like, possession movies. You can't raise the dead. You can't call upon the people who have already passed because you're going to raise something. Like, that's how it always happens. You're going to bring something that you're not looking for.
You're calling for someone, but something else is coming on the other side.
Right. LOL. I wonder when it stopped.
Well, there's that. Okay, well. All right. Thank you, guys. Sorry the video cut out here. And that's okay.
That's fine.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another episode of Chronically Offbeat. And thank you, Lynn, for joining us today to discuss all things tattooing and Coraline and horror and all that. Happy Halloween. Make sure you filter out your candies. Make sure there's no needles in them. Thank you. Do you want to plug yourself here? Where can people find you? About your tattooing? Are you booking? Are you want more appointments?
Yeah. You want more appointment? Yeah, stupid.
Where can they find you to do so?
So you can find me on Instagram at beauty.punk.creative. That's beauty.punk.creative on Instagram. You can also find my tattoo shop at Timeout Tattoos. So we're located at 2089 Celius Dean Highway in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. You can also check us out on November 1st for our Halloween Flash Day. We have a bunch of flash up already posted, so definitely check us out.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Halloween special of Chronically Offbeat. I hope this was spooky enough for you. Woo, spooky, ooh, spooky, ooh. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at mari.elizz. If you want to submit a question, comment, you want to submit tea, anything, you can do so by finding it in my link tree in my Instagram bio. It's called the Talk to Me form. You can leave it anonymous or you can allow me to use your name. It's completely up to you. After this, we have one more coming out the first week in November. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in.